Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door is often considered to be the best in the series. My nostalgia goggles tell me the original is actually the best, but I always really liked the music of The Thousand-Year Door. Today I'm going to talk about how the battle theme of The Thousand-Year Door takes the ground theme from the original Super Mario Bros. And makes it all battle-y. Instead of recording this intro, I was going to take the intro of the game and make it my own text to replace the text on the bottom and then have a picture of myself in the book, but I was too stupid to figure out how to do it.
As I said, the regular battle music of Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door is an arrangement of the ground theme from the original Super Mario Bros. Let's chat briefly about that theme first. You can break it up into 4 sections that come in and out once in a while: A, B, C, and D. The theme has a short intro taken from the C section. Then the A section starts like this. The B section starts with this. The C section starts like this. And the D section is the one that starts like this. But this D section isn't a part of the Thousand-Year Door battle music. The battle theme of the Thousand-Year Door also starts off with a short intro, which is made even more similar to the original theme in the Switch version of the Thousand-Year Door. This is the most drastic change in the Switch version of this theme. Besides this, the Switch version basically just makes everything a bit more real sounding, contrasting with the more digitized sounds of the GameCube original. So everything going forward will apply to both versions. We then enter an arrangement of the original music's A section. The first 3 melody notes are exactly the same, if we transpose the original up to D major to match the Thousand-Year Door. We really diverge from the original right here. In the original, this note happens on an offbeat, and basically serves as a jumping off point for the following notes. But here, it's right on beat. This changes the emphasis on it, which makes sense because it begins a stepwise ascent that doesn't happen in the original. Harmonically, this stepwise ascent is supported by chords in the key of C major, a step down from the battle theme's home key of D major. So we're a mere few seconds into the music, and we've already switched keys, but it feels super smooth and not jarring at all. In fact, I'd argue these opening seconds are less jarring than the opening seconds of the original theme. We have a smooth stepwise ascent that leads us to a G note as our high point, whereas the original, while staying in the same key, feels more like it's drastically changing by jumping us up to this high point of B, again, transposed to match the key of the Thousand-Year Door. And it makes sense. The original Super Mario Bros. Is all about jumping. Jump over the pipe, jump on the Goomba, jump while crouching just because it makes Mario look like he's taking a poop. Here though, while it's more harmonically intricate by changing keys for a short while, it uses the harmonic progression to keep the melody more grounded, because it's a turn-based RPG. You hear this part at the beginning of a battle, and odds are you're strategizing and thinking about your moves. Still, even with these differences, the bass line utilizes the iconic dun-dun-dun rhythm of the original's opening melody lines. So no matter how it diverges from the original, it keeps that grounding in the original's material. Following the battle theme's A section, we get a variation of that A section with a very similar opening which is then repeated, but down in C major instead. We then hang around an E minor chord for a bit, which is then used as the beginning of a fanfare where it transforms into E major and proceeds to an A major to end the section. I really love the fanfare part, because while I was replaying the Thousand-Year Door to prepare for this video, I noticed this part almost always came on when I was doing something cool like attacking. It's like it would hit at just the right time to match the action, and I assume most people use a similar playstyle that has this happen. The next section is a take on the original's B section, But right after returning to the key of D major at the end of the last section, we are immediately brought to the key of D minor. Ooh, things are about to get spooky sounding. I complimented this battle music before on how it ramps up harmonically, but in a way that isn't as bombastic or as quickly as the original theme. Here, the B section of the original is lengthened, and instead of the phrases ending with the dun-dun-dun from the original, the melody just fizzles out momentarily before repeating with a harmony note a third above. Then it does the same thing and adds one more harmony note a third above that. So we don't have some bombastic endings to the phrases, and we stay in the same melodic and harmonic area for a while, but we ramp it up little by little so that it's more suitable for a strategic battle. So the music is kept interesting, but remains in a similar space for a while to give you some good thinking space. One more thing to note in this section. Underneath the melody stuff, you have this repeating harmonic figure of D minor followed by a quick C minor, which is then brought up by half step to C sharp minor, and then we start the whole process over by ascending by half step again to D minor. It's a really cool sound, and it allows us to blend into the next section really nicely. The final section of the battle theme, the C section, brings us back to D major, and we have chords under the melody in the same exact rhythm as we just talked about from the last section. This time, we go from D major to C sharp major, back to D major, to undergird the melody, so we maintain the same harmony rhythm. The melody is really similar to the original in this section, and we end with some B minor fanfare before hearing the short idea that served as the intro to the whole theme, which loops us back to the A section. Overall, the original theme mainly uses the 1, 4, and 5 chords, and mainly uses chromaticism, or notes outside of the main scale being used, just as passing tones to get back to those chords. Not always, but mainly. The Paper Mario track does some of this, but it also uses notes outside of the scale to literally go to another key for a little bit. While the original mainly relies on melodic excitement, the Paper Mario track relies on harmonic excitement, while keeping the melody reasonably chill in comparison. This allows for the thinking required of a turn-based RPG, while still maintaining a sense of progression. And I just think that's really neat.
The 1,000-Year Door on the GameCube is a game that I used to rent over and over again, but never actually owned. My childhood friend Evan let me take his copy of the game, so I wouldn't have to rush out and get the Switch version just to start making this video. At the time of this recording, my rent just went up, as it does every single year, so we're gaming on a budget. We gotta save up and hustle, we gotta grind to go buy the same game we already have. If you want to help me squeeze out a little YouTube money for times like these, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.